Before we start, ladies and gentlemen, the podcast shout out for this episode is Talk Me Into. Now, this is a podcast that I just started listening to, hosted by Dan, Jimmy, and Jeff. This podcast, one or two of the co-hosts attempt to convince their friend or friends of a particular cultural topic and essentially talk them into that pop culture topic, including movies and shows and music, etc. So I really quite enjoyed the Doctor Who episodes, and my wife and I were listening to a conspiracy theories episode. I liked the one on Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I just saw that there is one on Rick and Morty that I'll have to check out. But I was really impressed with the chemistry between the co-hosts and the kinds of topics that they get into, which are plenty of nerdy shows and other media that I'm into. So check them out on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify. I'm checking them out too, and I'm going to continue to listen to some more. That being said, on with the show. I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
And I'm Andrew from Brash Binary.
This is Collateral Gaming. Welcome to Collateral Gaming, the only video game podcast that matters, where we focus on good games, bad games, and everything else in between in the world of gaming. We are podcasting straight from San Antonio, Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it blunts, bongs, joints, dabs, smoke it if you've got it.
Do the meth in moderation.
Yeah. Method moderation, folks. That's important.
Oh,
So
come
you
on
just
now.
heard our new special guest this episode, Andrew from Brash Binary. Andrew, tell the audiences a little bit about yourself.
I'm Andrew Kenny. I'm from New York. I started Brash Binary just recently this year, and we're still working on developing the different aspects of it. We're hoping to launch various projects soon, and the core of our mission is to be able to help small-scale creators monetize their work in a way that's scalable and allows them to maintain control over what they create. It's a big passion of mine. It came about when I realized that there wasn't a lot of good ways to advertise and monetize some of my smaller projects that I was trying to work on, and meeting people who wanted to be able to do that as well, and trying to provide something for them.
So you're trying to sponsor gamers. That sounds great.
Yes.
I could use you as a sponsor. That sounds great.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
And sponsor podcasts, as I understand it, too, right?
Yeah, we could do that, and but it's really about getting creators involved in it and getting the infrastructure necessary, not only to get enough people in so that it's viable, but getting the stuff set up to where it's safe for people to use.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the dream, dude. And, you know, you kind of entered this field sort of through the game development route. Am I right?
Absolutely. I'm definitely coming at it from the perspective of the game developer, less so than the podcaster. But so I would understand a little bit of the fears of wearing that would be more beneficial to the game developer rather than the podcaster. But I'm also working on creating my own podcast and stuff, and I'm hoping by doing that and seeing how they interact with each other that I'm going to be able to learn to do it in a way that's beneficial for both parties equally.
Hell yeah, dude. That's badass. Yeah, I mean, and, you know, I'm an aspiring indie game developer. I think I've mentioned that a few times on the cast. Can we call it the cast now?
I don't see why not.
Should we say the pod or the cast? What do you guys think? Take a vote.
Pod.
Let us know on Twitter. Anyway, so yeah, Andrew and I were talking about that a few minutes ago, you know, before getting ready for the podcast. And yeah, this guy, he's got ambitions. And that's cool because you'll fit right in with Collateral Gaming on this episode. I mean, because we're also ambitious. We wanna make it big, right, Dakota?
Absolutely. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm ready to. Man, these games. We have so many games lined up. So many games that I can't stop playing right now. Even when I should be playing other games. I'll get more onto that later. But
Yeah, no, that is definitely Dakota's problem.
yeah, that's a problem. But oh well.
But yeah, dude, it's amazing to kind of into the world and start from something small and make it into something big. And I can really get behind that. So, Andrew approached us on Twitter, and if you guys can't tell, we are Skyping him in from New York.
Apologies for the shitty quality.
This horrible place that it is.
But you're our first Skype guest. That's pretty cool. We like to do a little segment on this podcast. It's called Collateral Gaming News.
News.
You got to have the news music going.
I do. I have a news ident.
Oh,
You didn't just hear it. We just played it for the audience. But, you're recording, so you don't hear my news ident.
Oh, that's right.
So, news in the world of gaming. Here's the thing. I didn't do any research for this podcast, so I'm going to defer to you guys. What news is going on in the world of gaming?
Well, Death Stranding finally came out. It finally did. I've been waiting for it for so long, and it came out. And I should be playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is, well, what we're talking about today, if you haven't already read the title. That'll be the game we're actually eventually going to talk about. Eventually. But for now, I'm excited, to talk about, Death Stranding more, especially because that's going to be our next episode. I guess I shouldn't release that yet, but oh well. And our next episode is going to be a lot of fun, and I've been playing that a lot, so...
Oh, you know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
Since our last podcast, Apple has officially launched the Apple Arcade Plus service. Or is it just Apple Arcade service? I forget. Along with the Apple TV Plus service.
Yes.
So we'd really like to go in and maybe do an episode focusing on the Apple Arcade as general, or maybe pick a game, like an indie game. I'm really excited about that service. I mean, I'm a huge Apple fan, so...
So I'm guessing it's going to be kind of like Steam or something?
Well, there's a lot of like launchers and things. There's a
Or
lot
Steam.
of, like I said, streaming services, launchers, sort of like that. Epic Games has its own. Origins has its own.
Yeah.
EA, I think that is Origins. I don't even know anymore.
It's a subscription
Apple
service.
Arcade? Oh, basically it's Google Stadia for Apple.
There you go.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's gonna be overpriced, but it's gonna look better.
It is going to look better because Apple makes it. I mean, what do you expect, right?
There's a game on there that looks just like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It looks like a Breath of the Wild clone, and it's an obvious reference, but it looks like it's its own beautiful game too. Anyway, that kind of concludes our news segment, at least for now. Let's go on and get to the meat of the podcast, guys.
The meat. The absolute meat.
The
big meat.
The big meat.
All of the meat.
All of them.
You guys are bastards.
All right. You know what? Can we just make it eggplant this week for all the vegans out there?
Yeah. I don't know. No.
All right.
We don't talk about Bo.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You just gave him a platform.
Okay.
I know. We talk about meat on this podcast, and Bo has to deal with it.
Well, Jesus Christ, if you're going to shove my face in it, I mean...
Right? Okay. It would be eggplant parmesan, so there would still be cheese.
So it would just be vegetarian. Oh, great.
It would be vegetarian. So can you meet us halfway?
I guess so. I don't know. I guess I'll just make my own. I'll make my own cheese or something.
Or are you just going to stay on a horse as high as Dakota?
Okay.
What?
Fair enough.
Damn it.
So folks, the Parmesan eggplant of this podcast, because eggplant you would not want to eat without Parmesan. Dakota, you mentioned it earlier.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
The second one.
The second one.
I haven't actually played the first one. I don't think you have either.
I haven't played the first one.
So we have a lot of things to catch up on for this, but this game in particular, excited to talk about because we've been really playing it for a while, and you have more than me. I've been kind of slacking off on it like I should have, like I mentioned earlier, but I really enjoy this game for what it is. I would definitely play the first one after playing this. It really good vibe. I love the Western feel. I'll play any Western game. You know what I mean? That's cool as hell. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not into the whole country thing, despite living in Texas. Like, it honestly annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but this game made me want to like cowboys. You know, and I just, you know, was playing Old Town Road.
Oh my god!
While playing the game, just felt like a badass cowboy.
Wasn't there a music video for that used footage from Red Dead 2?
Oh, I'm sure there was. You know, also sometimes I would put on the Naruto Shippuden OST, Hyohaku, which is like Sasuke's theme that's kind of like rugged Western.
Yeah, because of course you would.
Yeah, that's what I was
I'm a
about to
fucking
say.
weeb.
Of course you would.
Fucking weeaboo.
Nah.
Andrew,
I was playing blues.
blues?
Oh.
Blues, there you go.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
Oh
that.
man,
No,
maybe bluesy rock like Black Keys. You can't go wrong with Black Keys, man.
fuck yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You know what? Have you ever just like, I know it's not necessarily blues, but have you just like walked down the streets of New Orleans, right? And there's just jazz?
I love that shit, dude.
Dude, there's a fucking town in Red Dead Redemption 2 called Saint Denis
Literally.
that's literally based on New Orleans. No,
Okay.
it's like they straight up like took some of the house models.
Ash and I have been to New Orleans many times. I've been like, what, 4, 5, 6 times, Ash too, okay? And we've been many times, so we know some of the places. And you got to think about it, this is a different time, so this would be prior all with that. And I'm recognizing places that is actually in New Orleans in this stupid game. Oh, it's crazy.
This game is exceedingly detailed. Now, Andrew, I did want to ask, man, have you played the original Red Dead Redemption?
Oh no, this is actually my first Rockstar game. Period.
You know, I haven't gotten that much into Rockstar games either. I mean, I played a little bit of GTA, but
Look at us, all of us unexperienced noobs.
unexperienced news. Why are we on a gaming podcast?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 1. I mean, that's how old school I am about that. And I mean, they pretty much set that sandbag type of gameplay. They set the bar for that like right then and there. And I mean, and it's kind of extended into Red Dead Redemption,
No.
Redemption 2.
The bar
even
was
more,
set
is
way
it?
before that, Bo.
Okay, with that. With
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye?
Nintendo 1604 GoldenEye. That set a precedent for gaming right there.
Well, I'm talking
come
about.
on.
I'm talking about
We all know.
sandbox.
I know.
We
but still.
all know that the Battle Royale mode on Donkey Kong 64 set
There
the
you
bar
go.
for
Oh,
all of it.
Of course.
Of course.
Or shit, Turok Rage Wars, for fuck's sake.
There you go.
I mean, jeez.
Come on. This is all a ripoff of chess.
of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Never forget where you came from.
Yeah, it's a chess and Strategio.
Oh wait, no.
Galaga.
Galaga.
Sorry, this is all a ripoff of just raiding another tribe and killing everyone.
Yeah.
Fucking Pac-Man, bro.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Eating
speaking-
ghosts? Come on.
Speaking of that, I was a bit disappointed because I played 40 plus hours of this game and I committed 0 mass shootings.
Wow.
Yeah, me too. I really struggled, but I didn't want to fuck with my honor. And the loading times are kind of long because it's a very intensive game. And it was just too much work to have to reload after going evil for a second. And I can't fuck with my good profile.
Exactly. Right?
you-
It's almost as if they're not the problem.
It's like we mentioned in the Fable 3 podcast, our first podcast we started with, our shitty episode, our shitty pilot. Anyway, no, what we talked about was the whole idea of that, not wanting to go out of these bounds and not wanting to leave the side of good because you're tempted, and they push the idea of that you should be a good guy, but obviously in this game you're an outlaw, and they don't really push that as hard as you would think.
That's
in Fable
what I
3,
enjoy.
they do push that. They really do. And they push the good path. But in this one, they don't push it on you. It's like you do whatever you want. And I want to stick to the good because that's who I am and that's how I play a game. But they don't push it. I don't feel a push. If anything, they give me so many chances to kill people when I can, just for the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I routinely shot people for $4.
There you go.
yeah.
Okay. I felt like a college student.
Wow.
Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. But trust me, we will. Wake them up a little! This whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people. You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.
Good old Dutch. My best friend. You know how we met? Pair of hucksters trying to rob each other. Back in 78 or thereabouts.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Sons of Dutch. Makes us brothers. Sometimes brothers make mistakes.
You'll never change. I know that.
All of you venerate savagery. And you will die savagely.
Get out here! Stay strong. Stay with me. You have to love yourself a fire.
I mean, this game, it is interesting because the morality system, is a part of it, but it's not as ingrained as some other games, which is good because it makes it so that it's no longer a gimmick and it's just kind of, an aspect of a game that should be there. Pretty much any open world game. And you're an outlaw. So you're already not, you're not an angel. And Arthur says that many times. People say you're a good guy. And he frequently says in the game, I think he says it a few times, like, I'm not a good man, we're not good people.
That's what I mean when I say it doesn't push it on you.
But at the same time, they don't believe in killing innocents, like as a gang anyway. They have a few morals, Well,
that's why it's not illegal to kill someone.
But you can be a remorseless killer as Arthur if you want.
Right.
I'm staring at Micah, just like...
Oh, dude, fuck Micah, dude.
Fuck Micah.
Fuck it.
Okay,
I haven't finished the game. Like, the whole story is like, does Micah betray the gang? I don't know.
Dude, it's so obvious. Actually, we'll be up front. We didn't beat the game. There's so much fucking game to play.
There's so much.
I mean, Andrew, you said you logged like 40 or 50 hours, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, like 15 of those hours was paying off bounties I did from doing random shooting sprees.
Did you story rush? Like, did you mostly focus on story, or did you do a lot of everything?
I really focused on story after I finally paid off my initial bounty when I tried to kill everyone when I got to Valentine.
So would you say 40, 50 hours is a normal average time for playing this game, or would you say that's a quick time?
I think the story's supposed to be like 55 hours.
Okay, there you go. So you did it quicker or at average speed than normal.
No, you don't understand. He logged 40, 50 hours, and he's only on chapter 4.
Oh, so you're only on chapter 4. Oh, so there we go.
Same as me.
I thought he finished it, so there we go.
I remember that because that's where I'm at, too.
Chapter 4.
Golly.
And apparently there's 8 chapters. So
I didn't even look it up, dude. But yeah, I kind of feel like I'm reaching what may be the halfway point of the game. I'm also at chapter 4. And I've probably logged about as many hours as you have. I don't know, maybe less. I did kind of try to stick to the story for the most part. But the story itself has a free roam quality even,
Yeah. I love joining up with Lenny whenever I can.
I fucking love Lenny. And that whole segment with Arthur and Lenny in the bar.
That's great.
And if you've ever been that drunk, that's what it's fucking like.
This is just like... Oh man! And then I love when it just wakes up and you look down, seeing yourself pissing on the floor.
Yes.
On the wall of a building. All right.
But see, there's another way that chapter can go, and I failed. I got caught by law enforcement at the end, but you can actually escape the cops.
Oh yeah, that's how I initially got my bounty started. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that bounty that I spent multiple hours trying to pay off, it started with me just starting shooting back. Like, was it then? Were you even able to shoot back, or was it like, I don't know, but I feel like it was connected somehow.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I like the way that the missions are presented in this game. Even those relevant to the story feel like their side missions in a lot of ways, which is good because it means that this game is well-rounded and spends enough time developing all of its characters through those missions. And what I really do enjoy about this game is how much it takes its time with things. You know, because we have this conception in modern gaming or gaming in general, actually, where ever since the beginning that realism would kill the fun and that you have to balance and you have to sacrifice realism for gameplay because, you know, real life is boring. And this game spits in the face of all of that because this game is hyper-realistic as fuck. And yet it balances that with fun. And it's got this quality to it. It's very, very slowly paced, but you just have to embrace it. I'm not going to say it's for everyone, but I definitely think that everyone should give it a shot. And I want to say that you have to embrace the slow pacing, you know, and take it in and absorb the story.
It's like going for a lovely ride in a train.
Exactly.
Like if you've ever gone on one of those classic trains, it's like that where you're just immersed in the environment and you're going on, and it's fantastic in that aspect. The presentation's nice. I was for the majority of the time, for reasons, I was playing on a 720p screen, as opposed to a full HD, which was a bit upsetting, but it still looked great regardless. It's just the atmosphere, right? They got that right. You can tell that the window dressing has substance to it.
Yes.
So
at all times. I mean, the graphics are gorgeous. And I mean, really, you can tell that, you know, Rockstar really spent their time with this. I think my only complaint as far as the gameplay goes is that the control scheme in some ways. In particular, I don't like the way, and Grand Theft Auto does this shit too, where you have to mash X to sprint. It's kind of weird.
It is a weird setup. I noticed that I had trouble getting used to it, mainly because, oh God, I had so much trouble getting used to this game in general because I was playing Uncharted recently before, and I had so much trouble getting through it because it was feeling like a similar game and it felt like a similar character and play style. So something about it, I couldn't get rid of the stupid R1 to reload and circle to what was it, melee, and it's the other way around. In what's it called?
No, it's R1 to reload and circle to crouch.
To crouch, that's it. Crouch.
In Uncharted, and it's the opposite in Red Dead. It's R1 to crouch and like take cover. I mean, when I say that, and it's circle to reload.
And it's so hard to get used to that when I just played Uncharted. But unfortunately, that was a problem. But after I got past that, the controls were a little difficult to get used to. But I didn't have too much trouble, I guess. But I always have trouble because I play so many games, so I can't ever get used to controls.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. I did find myself sometimes doing the wrong thing because the controls are confused. And I don't usually do that, but this game definitely has unique controls. I'll put it that way. But yeah, Red Dead is definitely a masterpiece. I think it was, you know, one of those games last year, along with Spider-Man, along with a lot of people say God of War, and that's an upcoming episode, but we've yet to play it. They were all contenders for Game of the Year because, you know, this game... I mean, the quality is just, it's too much to ignore. Even if it's not your cup of tea, you have to acknowledge the beauty of it, I think.
So wait, when did this game come out?
Last year, 2018.
2018? What time? What time in 2018?
Oh, I don't know.
So was it near the end of the year? Wait, what? So it was Game of the Year? Is that what you're saying?
It was one of the contenders for it.
You don't think it actually did? So
Yeah.
this year, well, what do you think?
I thought it came out in October of 2018.
October of 2018? Okay, so...
It was after Spider-Man. I remember that. Because everyone was playing Spider-Man, and then Red Dead came, and everyone was playing Red Dead, like, right afterwards. God of War was actually Game of the Year.
Okay, so what do you think it's going to be this year? I'm thinking Death Stranding. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know, we'll see.
So it was October 26th.
October 26th, there you go.
Fuck yeah, that's research. Fit right in, Andrew.
There we go.
Hell yeah, there we go.
Definitely the gameplay really stands out, and really also the story, you know, the Wild West setting, something that I don't normally enjoy, but in this case, you know, it really, really interests me and fascinates me, especially, you know, with the realistic component of it. What did you guys think about the setting and the story?
The story felt particularly like they took their time. It felt like if I wanted to compare it to a style, it felt very similar to how I felt while watching Pulp Fiction,
Okay.
which is really, it feels like everything is a setup for something. And it's over the top in a strangely believable way.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean, man.
All right, sort of that Quentin Tarantino style. Maybe I could like confirm or deny this more if I ever watched The Hateful Eight. Is that the Quentin Tarantino one? Right?
Yeah.
Hateful Eight.
Hateful
Okay.
Eight.
I need to watch that. So maybe I'll be able to. Is that the right one? All right. Regardless, so it felt kind of like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie with how it's structured.
Yeah,
And
The
how
Hateful Eight
it's,
is by Quentin
how it's
Tarantino.
willing to use the shocking, but it's not it. But whenever something shocking shows up, it actually serves a very good narrative purpose. You don't find yourself pissing on the side of a bar without a purpose.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people I've heard and read, this game is not like a Western, GTA plus Skyrim. Skyrim is the first thing in game that
Yeehaw
comes to mind.
Skyrim.
Yeah, yeehaw Skyrim. So that was kind of the first thing that I thought of when I saw this game because I put a lot of hours into Skyrim, of course.
I know you did.
in scale, I would say yes, but in style, no. No, it's you don't. While you do loot the corpses afterwards, you don't like. I don't find myself really going in places to collect stuff.
This is true.
And I don't find myself sort of. With Skyrim, you usually end up pursuing quests to gain more power.
Right, exactly.
You don't really have that with Red Dead Redemption.
I see what you're saying. That's a good point. You have a lot of that. I mean, of course, a lot of more mystical aspects. You've got your dragons and shit. That's another
well,
one
obviously
where-
the tone's going to be different. But
Yeah, tone's going to be different. I mean, that's what you get when you go from Western to medieval.
Exactly. And it really nails the Western feel while still maintaining an essence of realism. Because, we all know that the cowboy, as we know it, is an urban myth. That's the way
Well, they're not
popular culture
cowboys.
portrays it. But they're not. They're outlaws. That's what they say.
Yeah, they're outlaws. There's actually a part in the one where you basically kidnap cattle to sell. Basically, they
remember
make
that
fun
one.
of cowboys. They make fun of the cowboys. They call them like dead-brained idiots or whatever. They're not cowboys.
What's really interesting about the story is that, since Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1, a lot of the fates of characters you know from the beginning. Because John Marston is the protagonist of Red Dead Redemption 1, right? And he's a prominent character in this game. So, he's going to live. Dutch Vanderlyn is actually the antagonist of Red Dead Redemption 1, which is really interesting considering the role he plays in Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
That's what you were saying. Yeah, I haven't played Red Dead 1, so I can't tell you that. But I know that they, like you said, there's a lot of familiar
Oh my
faces going
goodness,
on.
I didn't know that. I'm so excited to finish the game.
Yeah.
now.
And that's not even
It's
a
like,
spoiler
what
for
the
you.
hell?
It's not even a spoiler for you because that was in the first game.
What
But
the hell? It's like,
yeah.
I didn't know that. It's like, yeah. So I went in basically just being like, ooh, I'd probably be your schlub who picks it up because it's a popular game.
Right,
No,
exactly. And that's what we did. That's how we got it on our podcast. I mean, that really was what it was. It was a random draw of games that are popular, games that'll get, good to talk about.
Yeah. Actually, it was Steven's suggestion.
Was
I
it really?
believe.
That one was? Good to know.
And what's interesting is Steven was going to be on the podcast,
Oh, man.
but we didn't end up having him on. But he ended up, Steven's my longtime best friend from high school, and he was going to be on the podcast, but he ended up having, I guess, other priorities or whatever. But one day we hope to at least have him on as a special guest.
That'd be fun.
Although we are looking to add a full-time member to our team because I feel like just the two of us, is not enough. Collateral Cinema, we have 4, so.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, knowing that about Dutch really changes the perspective in this game. Now, I didn't, of course, because I didn't play Red Dead Redemption 1, but I did look it up later, and I was doing some research, especially for the podcast. And, being that that's not technically a spoiler, this was fine. But coming into it at first, I kind of believed in this guy. And then finding out, soon after that he becomes the villain, like you said, Andrew, it makes you a lot more excited because you want to see this downfall that happens. And what's interesting is that even some of the gang members in the game end up becoming antagonists in the next one. Even some of the more well-mannered ones like Javier Escuela. Bill Williamson, who's kind of somewhere in between. Also, Uncle is I think appears in the next one, but he's actually on your side. John, of course, is the protagonist, and Arthur is not there. So make of that what you will. There is no Arthur in Red Dead 1.
No Arthur in Red Dead 1.
So I mean, we probably know that what's going to end up happening is kind of what happened at the end of Red Dead 1, where the protagonist dies.
Right.
You know, but in Red Dead 1, at the end of the game, when you complete it, and I actually do remember this because my friend Steven actually showed me this part a long time ago. When you complete the narrative, John Marston dies at the end, but his son Jack Marston, who's the little kid in this one, takes over. He's an adult. I think he's a teenager during the story of Red Dead 1. And then at the end of the game, he's an adult, and he pretty much looks like his dad. And so you take over for him in the finale, and then he allows you to continue to free roam, even with John being dead.
That's really cool.
So that's a really cool mechanic. So what I'm thinking is, you know, at the end of this game, of course, you play as John. And I believe that is the case, actually. But you play as John at the end when Arthur dies.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, so I'm excited to see where that goes.
This is interesting because usually we delve into spoilers, but we actually haven't beat the game story because it's just so fucking big.
Well, during the whole game, you're going throughout cities and stuff, and there's always something to do. You're never not. There's always something you can do. You know what I mean? And you feel there's cutscenes for everything, so you're always doing something. So it really does feel like a TV show more than a movie because you can't fit all that content into a movie. You know what I mean? There's so much content. That's what's so great about video games is you get all this content that you can't get out in movies or even TV shows for that matter.
Bring him in here.
Miss Gaskell, get that fire lit, quick. Miss Jones, bring in whatever blankets we have. Mr. Pearson, see what we've got in terms of food.
Davy's dead.
There was nothing more you could have done.
What are we gonna do? We need supplies.
Well, first of all, you're gonna stay here, and you are gonna get yourself warm. Now, I sent John and Micah scouting out ahead. Arthur and I, we're gonna ride out, see if we can find one of them. And this, just for a short bit. And I don't see what other choice we have. Listen. Listen to me, all of you, for a moment. Now, we've had, well, a bad couple of days. I loved Davy, Jenny, Sean, Mac. They may be okay. We don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground, in their stead, I'd do it, gladly. But we are gonna ride out, and we are gonna find some food. Everybody, we're safe now. There ain't nobody following us through a storm like this one. And by the time they get here, well, we're gonna be long gone. We've been through worse than this before. Mr. Pearson, Miss Grimshaw, I need you to turn this place into a camp. We may be here for a few days. Now, all of you, get yourselves warm. Stay strong. Stay with me. We ain't done yet. Come on, Arthur.
All right. We've got some work to do.
We ain't run into them yet, so They both must have headed down the hill.
Sure. Hey, I ain't had time to ask. What really went down back there on that boat?
We missed you. That's what happened. Come on. Oh.
Hey, you need horses?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Smith, get yourself indoors. You need to rest that hand.
I'll live.
Get indoors, son. Bye. We need you strong.
There's an additional element to it in the sense that you can explore things in between those important moments. And even this game, in a way, has, like we've said in pretty much every previous episode, since Last of Us, this game has a very cinematic quality in the narrative, especially in that, in the way that it presents that video games can tell a story in some ways better than a movie, because there's all these, and I think I was going to mention this earlier, but we went off the rails a little. There's all these like hidden moments in the game where if you stick around and you take your time and you embrace the pacing, after you win a member of the gang back and like rescue them and bring them home, there's like a party going afterwards, and you can stay awake and interact with the members and uncover more of the story than there is if you skip that part.
See, there you go. Like, we're always going to talk about like how video games, they are like better than movies in a way, we're always going to believe that. So that's always going to come back up. You say that we talk about it a bunch, but it's because there's always a cinematic quality that's there, especially in these newer games. I mean, Red Dead, Uncharted, what was the other one? The Last of Us, Spider-Man, all of them. That's
have
how
cinematic qualities.
And they all do. Yeah, exactly.
I really feel that these type of games justify the existence of AAA studios.
Yeah.
In a world where Battlefield doesn't need to Battlefront.
Battlefront. Yes.
The problems with Battlefront 2, it doesn't need to exist that way. You could do that with a smaller studio that it wouldn't be indie; it would be considered double A. But you can do something on a lot smaller scale to create something that would effectively be just as good. But these really show the strength of having these titans of industry around.
Right. And there's a lot to this story and stuff going on, and I'll explain this more actually when we talk about it in Death Stranding. But in this game, there's a survival aspect that you have to worry about, of course, just like any other survival game. And so you have this cinematic quality throughout the entire time you're doing your normal survival deeds. You have to go kill an animal. You have to go shoot that deer. You have to go skin it. You have to go bring it back to your camp. The guy has to cook it for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole process, and you have to go through it to get all that done. So if you want to have food hunger, there's that whole new survival aspect. Like I said, I'll explain more with Death Stranding, but it's really cool.
I've killed more of my horses than like a local Taco Bell. Is just like I was not noticed at staying away from the cliffs.
Oh, man.
Like, because I'm used to, because I came in from Skyrim if you slide down it's fine, and that type of, since it's much more real, you can't be as loosey-goosey with the stuff, and you actually have to pay attention when you're traveling and stuff. And it took me a little while to get that. That's why, like, the first few hours of me playing was me getting adjusted to the fact of, oh, wait, I actually have to pay attention in the overworld because interesting things are going on, interesting things that I need to react to. I can't just do what I do in Skyrim and just sort of, like, be listening to some sort of video somewhere else while I'm traveling to the next dungeon. Then I'll pause the video, go in, and enjoy the dungeon.
Okay, bro, play Death Stranding. Then you'll really understand. You'll understand that completely.
Dakota's like obsessed with Death Stranding right now, which is, well,
absolutely understandable.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, this game. I mean, it's like we've said so many times. There's so much depth here. They spent so much time, and it's no wonder, the last Red Dead Redemption game was last era. Same thing with The Last of Us. These long times, and Nintendo does the same thing with Zelda games, really improve the quality of the game. You know, if you just spend your time, you don't have to churn titles out once a year. Look what happened to Assassin's Creed. Went from, you know, a respectable franchise to, you know, kind of becoming a meme of itself because of, you know, releases like Unity, which was a great game, but in my opinion, I mean, I enjoyed it, but, you know, it was just bugged upon hell, and
It was obviously rushed.
but it's the pressures of the publishers usually more so than the developers.
Are you trying to suggest? Are you trying to suggest that the latest Call of Battle Watch is not the best it could be?
Battle Watch Fork Knife.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed did manage to kind of bring itself back up.
Syndicate was great.
Its reputation. Syndicate was kind of overlooked, I think, but Syndicate was like what Unity should have been. I think. I
was so on board with the trailer. I saw the trailer and I was like, that's what I want a game to be, leading a gang of that type of stuff. I never actually picked it. I never actually got the chance to play it because I was like moving on at that point.
Of course, we can't pass up Origins. That's the newest one, right? Or Odyssey.
Origins and Odyssey.
Odyssey
are actually what brought the game back to reputation.
You're right.
Origins was they spent another year in development, so that additional year helped. 2 years instead of one yearly release. And then they completely went back to basics. And it benefited the series greatly because a lot of people felt it was getting stale. Anyway, I bring this up because when you spend more time on something, the product is better. And publishers need to realize that and stop putting these deadlines on developers because look at AAA releases. You know, Rockstar can produce a game every few years and be okay. And they've got a couple IPs going at the same time. So they can even alternate. Same thing with Naughty Dog. They can wait between releases and they can have teams solely focused on that. Nintendo does the same thing and have years in between. And it's okay. You'll make enough money off of how great those games are. And you know, and then like I said before, you've got the games in between from your other IPs, but it really works.
What is IP? Independent project?
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
Yeah.
Wow.
But here's the one thing that I want to say about Rockstar is I'm still wondering when they're going to release another table tennis game.
Oh my god.
I mean, that was like top notch.
They did Max Payne, right?
No, I think so.
I just pulled it up a minute ago.
Wasn't that Naughty Dog?
No, that was not Naughty Dog.
And Rockstar also
It was Rockstar.
is
yeah.
also both the publisher and the studio. They work together really well.
Rockstar website.
Because Rockstar Studio, the developer, is a subsidiary of Rockstar Games. So it's all one company. Nintendo does the same thing. And this works because you don't have those pressures. You don't have the publishers for enforcing these deadlines on a development studio that they hired. You have an internal team that's working together, and they know what they're doing.
Dude, shit, with the deadlines and everything. I mean, look at that movie. What was it? The Sonic movie. You know what I mean? They listened to the fans, the audience. They listened to the crowd. They almost sent it out because, you know, publishers gave a deadline, I guess.
That should have been in Collateral Gaming News. There we go.
That should have been.
They finally released a new trailer for the Sonic movie showing off the redesigned Sonic character.
What do you think?
And it looks a hell of a lot better. I mean, people... Honestly, I didn't think the original was that bad, but now when I see them side by side, now I understand why this was the better way to go. But
wait, you didn't think the original was that bad?
I mean, it wasn't like the worst, like everyone was saying it was. I was like, it's a kids movie. It doesn't really matter. But
eyes are too small.
I was really glad to hear that they were gonna Go ahead.
It looked disturbing. Like was the problem?
It does now. Now when I look at it,
it was so like firmly situated in the uncanny valley that you can't. It was just not.
Yeah, they had to go back to the anime-based character design on that. You know, they just had to do that.
That's what the fans wanted, and where they're getting a lot of good press now because they listen. They listen to the fans, but you know. I'm usually kind of a skeptic here. I'm not the kind of person that gets into conspiracy theories, but you know, part of me wonders if maybe this all just wasn't a marketing ploy. What if the original, you know, initial design was intentionally bad, so it would generate buzz because even bad press is good press.
No, you're
not.
And
then
wrong.
A positive response, gold,
absolute gold. You're right. No, this did great wonders for them. I mean, now that they screwed up, because now there's like hype. Okay, wait a second. But the problem is they had to know if what they remade was going to be good enough.
Some people are looking at this and they're like, what the hell were they thinking? Who thought that was a good design? And, like I said, I didn't think it was that bad, but in retrospect now when I compare it against the design that they went with, which is basically the original design.
Basically the original design, exactly.
Or at least as far as I think the modern Sonic character goes. Because I think some of the games now have, and it's weird, they have a separate characters, classic Sonic and modern Sonic. Right. like interacting, it's kind of weird.
Sonic Generations was a trip. I played that game. It was fun.
You know what? Sonic is taking itself too seriously now. I think that's why I always preferred Mario, because Mario knows it's a kid's game, but Sonic is almost getting to cringy territory. I watched this cutscene where he falls in love with this human looking girl.
Oh, you're talking about Sonic 06.
And I was just
Sonic's
what?
Not the cool kid. He's Bugs Bunny.
Hey,
right.
Sammy Love Sonic fan would hate you right now, dude. He would kill you for talking about that. Don't talk about Sonic 06.
Like Sonic. Frickin' fricks.
But you want to know what I wanted? What I really.
There you go.
Your actions have consequences.
Thank you for understanding. Oh my god.
This is something for the old school fans. What I want to know is, in the new movie, are they going to have Jaleel White do Sonic's voice? Because they have to have Jaleel White do it. Seriously, he is Sonic, just like he is also Urkel.
Oh, guys, we're going way off topic here.
Yeah, no kidding. Does it matter? I could talk about Sonic all fucking day.
Sonic. I don't know. That whole serious thing, and in the Sonic Forces trailer too. I remember watching that. Everybody thought it was great, and I was like, why is it taking itself so seriously, like an action movie? Sonic, you're a kid's game. But anyway, the movie looks promising.
Hey, podcast. It's a podcast right there. Let's do it. Sonic when it comes out in the movie theaters.
The movie.
Yes, let's do it,
dude. I'm down.
Because hey, if it's shitty, we could bash it if we need to.
I am fucking.
I don't care
down.
what it is. I'm willing to talk about it, dude. Right after it comes out, let's do a.
Could be a collaboration special.
It could be a collaboration special.
Hey, there we go.
Possibly.
You could have all your special guests show up.
There you go.
When I say collaboration special between Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming, that would be cool.
Oh, is that your way of saying you don't want me there?
Oh no! You can come.
That was just a joke.
I know, dude. I'm stoned. Okay, all right, and mildly autistic. So
I'm just dumb.
Oh my god.
That probably came off bad when I said mildly autistic, like I was making fun of autistic people. But you have to understand, I am autistic. It's like being black and being able to say the N-word. It's the same thing.
Oh,
I have Asperger's, so I can say that.
Is that what we're equating?
I can joke about it.
We're equating that with, really?
You're gonna get jumped, Ash.
Seriously,
you're gonna get jumped.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Hey,
no,
hey, I am millennial. I will have you know. Older millennial. So
okay, boomer.
Hey, just say okay, boomer to everything, dude. That's all you gotta
okay,
say.
That's all you gotta do.
That's all you gotta
okay,
do.
Boomer.
Okay, Zoomer.
Oh man.
Oh. Yeah, you and Dakota, y'all are the Zoomers of this group.
Yeah, we're the millennials.
We're the millennials.
Barely.
I'm like the last millennial. Like I'm like the last wave of them. I still got the man bun and beard. So.
I'm in the first part of the generation,
dude,
1982.
Dude,
so.
I'm not gonna lie,
y'all
dude.
are millennials. You have depression. I'm a Gen Zer. I have anxiety.
Hey, so I guess some way we meet halfway, huh?
Okay, and I have social anxiety on top of that, so I have depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
See, I'm one of those people who agree with the idea of this. There's a little part of our childhood in which we've created, a certain generation created in between Z and millennials, and I think that's where both Andrew and I lie. And we got a really screwed up childhood. Okay,
don't subcategorize yourself.
We're subcategorizing ourselves. We get to be minorities.
Yeah, they're already trying to subcategorize the older millennials now, like the Oregon Trail generation or whatever.
I can't believe that. That's all bullshit.
That
was the point of my joke. It's all bullshit.
I think this subcategory of Gen Z millennial-ish thing should be called the Hannah Montana generation.
Honestly, though, because we did grow up on Hannah Montana. You're absolutely right.
There we go.
I had two sisters and an autistic brother, and so he voted for Sesame Street.
See,
right?
but
and then
we
my
still
sisters
knew
voted
things
for Disney Channel.
Right. See,
Oh,
my
wow.
my sisters voted for Disney Channel,
there we go.
and then it didn't matter what I voted for, so we just kept watching Disney Channel. We never got to watch Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network.
That's always how it was. Nick at Night, I watched George. What was his name? George Lopez. There we go. That's what I would always watch. That was such a good show. What else?
Why are you crying?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's a bunch of good things I used to watch, man. I mean, of course, Hannah Montana. I did that. What else? Watch That's So Raven. That wasn't too old for me.
That's
I
the
used to
Raven
do that.
shit. Raven's back
Cory
on
in the
Disney
House.
Channel.
Corey
My
in the
favorite
House.
anime.
That's what it's about, man.
The best anime.
The best
That
anime.
Cory in the House, man.
All I gotta say is I remember back in the day when Clarissa Explains It All was on Nickelodeon.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
boomer.
And salute your shorts.
My
But, like,
partner's
fucking-
a monkey.
Oh, that's a great show.
Guys,
My gym partner is a monkey.
off the rail, like the train that the Vanderlyn gang tried to bomb. Like the story of this game is set.
Like you're
Across-
talking right now, your train wreck of a talk. That's going
Yeah,
on right now.
what the fuck was that, dude?
Okay, that's gonna be edited out. So
I mean, I know we're uncivilized, but that segue, man.
yeah, seriously.
Do you like it? You like it?
That Segway train.
Riding on a Segway.
Right on a Segway. Subway.
Hey, I'm the dad here.
what?
I'm supposed to be making the dad jokes.
I got a little bit of a delay, so I feel like I'm interrupting you guys a lot.
It's
Oh.
okay. We
No,
cross talk
you're good,
anyway.
bro.
We're shitty podcasters. We cross talk all the time.
Yeah,
We cross talk all the time.
seriously.
We're trying to work on it, but
We do it for the fans.
exactly that's what they want. Okay, they want to listen to our voices. It's not enough for them to listen to our voices individually.
There you go.
Yeah.
They have to hear
All of us at the same
in
time.
unison.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're all
Harmony.
depressed on the inside, and they need the sensory overload.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right, everyone, dismount and come to me. We'll go in on foot from here.
First Sean, now Jack. We should have stayed out of all of this.
Bit late for that, ain't it?
Come on, let's get this done. John, you sure you're okay? Like I said, I'm fine. Follow my lead. Both these redneck families think they can ruin us? I don't think so.
There they are.
Who steals a goddamn boy? I'm gonna let fly at those sons of bitches. John, I need you to stay calm. Get down here now, you inbred trash!
What the hell do you want?
Easy, John.
We've come for the boy. You must have known we would.
Shouldn't have messed with our business now, should you?
Whatever complaint you have with us, alleged or otherwise, that is a young boy. That is not the way you do things. Hand him over.
Get the hell off our land!
If you ain't gonna be civilized about this, Arthur, John, Hosea with me. The rest of you, watch out here for any other arrivals. Get in there! Find Jack! And find that Braithwaite woman! Jack, you in here? Jack! Jack, can you hear me? Jack? Oh, shit!
There's something pushed up against it. Are you in there?
Open the goddamn door! Shit! John! Arthur! We'll hold him down here. We got more coming in! Arthur, get out there! We got this door covered! Grab the rifle! Chair! You want me to kill you too, old woman?
You bastards!
Where's the boy?
We have lived in this house for 120 years. We never had no problems except for
Where
Yankees.
is the boy? Who took him?
You killed my son!
Oh, and I will surely kill the rest of them unless you start talking.
Oh, I know your type. Common scum.
Where is the boy?
You filth.
All right, we get her out of here.
What about them?
Now let's get this hag outside. Any more of her sons to deal with?
No, reckon they're all dead.
That's right. Burn this dump to the ground. You boys sure Jack ain't in here?
We searched everywhere, Dutch.
You got that one, Arthur?
Guess that's the end of the goddamn cribbage game.
Come here.
Put me down! You damn Yankee!
There you go.
I never liked you.
Why'd you take the boy, Mrs. Braithwaite?
You stole my
Boys are off
liquor.
limits.
You stole my horses. Ain't no rules in war, mister.
Matthews.
Yes, yes, that's it.
Where's the boy?
My sons gave him to Angelo Bronte. So my guess is Saint-Denis. Either there or on my boat to Italy.
Let's go. Arthur, come on.
What we doing with her?
Leave her.
I told you she was crazy.
But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 exists itself pretty firmly in its own universe. The Red Dead series has actually kind of got an interesting history, actually. I said actually twice. It's very unprofessional. Okay, did I mention I'm high? Right. So
Man, not only was that redundant, that was redundant.
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron. No,
so
it's not.
Red Dead Revolver was the very first game in the series.
Oh,
now,
yes, I was looking at that on Rockstar website.
it's more of a Red Dead Redemption was more of a spiritual successor than a sequel to Red Dead Revolver. In fact, supposedly Red Dead Revolver exists in a separate universe, although it is mentioned as a fable in I think one of the games. But anyway, Red Dead Revolver originally came out on the PS2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very different game, but it did introduce, like the Deadeye system, and it was a very linear game from what I've seen. I looked up some clips online, but it kind of exists as its own thing. Red Dead Redemption afterwards was a much buzzed about game back when it came out too. I remember one of the first games that came around that time that really kind of pioneered the open world movement that was going on. Now, it's not obviously open world games have been a thing since the beginning of gaming, but we all know that there was this wave recently, and the original Red Dead Redemption 1 was right at the forefront of that. One of the games that showed that having a fully explorable free roam world, but still having a linear story to follow through in that world was an option. And it really showed, like in this way, that this game, Red Dead Redemption 2, really emphasizes that realism can be fun in a game. Red Dead Redemption 1 emphasizes that an open, a free roam world can be fun. And I haven't even played it, but just from what I've seen.
So what do you think about the DLC, the expansion, the Undead Nightmare? What do you think about that?
I have seen a little bit of that.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Haven't untouched it.
Really? Interesting.
For Red Dead Redemption 1.
That's for 1. Well, it's funny because it's got the picture for 2.
It's for 1?
Oh, it's for 1, yeah. I've seen people play it, and I've played a little bit of it before. I remember the ghost horses. I know there's ghost horses, which are pretty cool.
The skeleton horses.
Yeah, I think there's zombies everywhere.
And yeah, Undead Nightmare is really cool. It's basically, it's like it's its own universe of a reversion of, part of the story of Red Dead Redemption 2, where there's zombies.
There you go. You gotta add zombies to everything.
Or Red Dead Redemption 1, I'm sorry. In that same way, Red Dead Redemption's biggest DLC, which is its own standalone DLC, actually, even though it's on the same software, it exists as its own game the same way that Grand Theft Auto Online exists as its own game from Grand Theft Auto is Red Dead Online, which was released after the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. I haven't got my hands on it yet, because I'm not actually paying for PlayStation Plus right now, because I just bought a house. Guys, give me a break. And I'm not really an online gamer anyway. But yeah, Red Dead Online allows you to create your own character, and I think it's the same map. And Red Dead Redemption 2 borrows parts of the map from 1, but shows an earlier version, a more actually I should say less civilized version, because civilization is bringing its way in.
Right. More natural environment. Less buildings, less places, more natural.
Yeah. And Red Dead Online exists in the same world as Red Dead 2, I believe. And I'm not sure where it fits canonically, or if it fits canonically.
I don't think it's supposed to. Is every character James Marsden? Arthur Morgan?
No. Red Dead Online. Red Dead Online, you create your own character.
Oh, you create your own character. Okay, so you explain that. So, yeah, does it really exist canonically? How does that work?
I don't know. I've tried to find some resources on it, but I couldn't, figure out if it's actually canon. But in any case, you brought up a good point. We haven't talked about Arthur.
We haven't talked about Arthur.
What did you guys think about the character of Arthur Morgan, the protagonist of the story?
He's an interesting character. He's got so much to him. There's a lot of flaws, clear flaws, straight from the beginning. He's an outlaw at heart, and you know it. But he's got his gang, and he believes in respect, and he has his own integrity, his own moral system. And it may not be good. He may be a little corrupt, but he's got some sort of moral system, some kind of code. Because, like you said, he doesn't kill innocent people. Things like that don't happen. And obviously, you can do more evil things, but that's not going to happen as much, especially if you follow through the game like you're supposed to.
And he's strangely progressive for his time.
Strangely, oh yeah.
He's vehemently against the idea of racism.
Same sex.
Which is really interesting.
Or homosexual. He doesn't care about that either.
He doesn't care about that. Like, he accepts... Micah is an unlikable character from the beginning because, he's racist as hell. And Arthur exists as a character that you have realized, despite his time, is not a product of his time, and kind of accepts the idea, because he rides along. He's an outlaw. He rides along people of color. And I just really thought that was an interesting aspect to his character. Also, his ideas, he's progressive in other ways, his ideas of suffrage. You actually attend and actually drive around a suffrage parade in the game, women's suffrage. And it's actually an awesome moment. But what I like is Arthur's response later in Saint Denis to a voter is, if you're dumb enough to vote, then you should be able to. That's his take on it. If you're dumb enough to vote.
My favorite thing about that was he was driving the suffrage wagon and basically complaining about their screaming.
Yeah,
at the same time, and that's perfect for the attitude of just this. I feel like Arthur has the strongest characterization you could have while maintaining perfect agency for a playable character. There's never a moment where I felt like I made a call in gameplay that Arthur wouldn't make, no matter what I chose.
Yeah,
right? I could see killing a guy in a robbery gone wrong, but I could also see choosing to spare them and running.
That's a good point. One thing I have heard, though, is that Arthur's demeanor does change a little bit based on player choice. It's subtle, but he's a little more aggressive if he's more on the evil side. I've heard, but I've only played the good.
See, yeah, in the beginning a lot, he's very ambiguous.
Sorry,
but he does.
It's not good and evil. It's honorable and dishonorable.
There you go. That's
You're an
a good
outlaw.
point. Yeah.
It's either honorable or dishonorable.
So and it's clear that he's an outlaw from the beginning. You drag someone on a horse. I mean, you do crazy stuff. Well, you don't drag him. You knock him out and you carry him on the back of the horse, tied him up. You know what I mean? That's one of the first few scenes in the game. And so and you talk to him and he's like, shut up. You stop talking. So he's rude and he has this corrupt sense of character, but he's still morally good.
I love beating the shit out of bounties I'm collecting.
There you go.
Yes. I love when it's justified and it's not like you're just being mean. Like when you're beating the shit out of someone, the only thing that breaks my heart, and you can see some of Arthur's morality when it comes to this too, is the scenes where Strauss sends him, Strauss the loan shark, sends him on missions to,
pay loans.
Pay up.
Yeah, their loans they owe him.
Yeah, especially with Thomas Downs, who ends up, making him. I'm gonna spoil it for you guys because we have to spoil it for the audience because we got to discuss the game as a whole. But ends up giving Arthur tuberculosis.
There you go.
Which ultimately leads to his downfall. So, yeah, that's one of the story missions in the game. But anyway, what I really enjoyed.
Wait a second. I think we might have just discovered some branching story because as far as I was aware, I delayed the Thomas Downs thing. Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, I never got tuberculosis. He died before I even got to him.
Really?
Yeah. I had to beat up his wife.
Whoa.
What? Damn.
See, this game has some really interesting story aspects. That's interesting.
Oh, wait, no. I had to beat up the son while the wife watched an horror.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I know, from what I understand, that is supposed to be a key element later. But so I'm wondering how the branching storyline, if there is one like you're saying, would handle that. But
there is a bunch of other ways Arthur could have gotten sick in my thing. For instance, I got dragged by the O'Driscoll gang, and I had to cauterize the wound with gunpowder.
Oh, I remember that moment. One of the coolest parts in the game.
That's not very healthy for you. You could get sick from that. There's a lot of different ways you could have gotten sick. So I can see how there could be branching storylines that can explain how you get different things.
Yeah, I think he mentions in his journal entry in the end, which I kind of read. He says, I don't know if it was the. I don't know if it was the.
I don't know if it was the. I don't know. If it
boy.
Boy.
Yeah,
boy.
I don't know if it was the. Getting kicked off too many times. Off of my horse. Say something like that.
So he doesn't really know, but in the end, he knows he got it and he's screwed.
And he mentions several things. I don't know if it was getting sick from that feller, Thomas Downs, etc. And so he lists multiple possibilities.
That's perfect. So that's where all the branching storylines come in. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
that's a good way of tying all that in because he doesn't really know, but there's many ways it could have happened.
Right. So let's think about this from a narrative structure. So the entire theme of Red Dead Redemption 2 is Arthur's a man out of time. The world is civilizing, and there's no room for him.
Right, and that's what they're fighting the whole time. Yeah, go ahead.
And if from what I can glean from how you're talking about the end, he gets sick and dies, right?
Yeah.
And his reflection over that seems to be, I've done this for too long. The world isn't, there's no space in the world left for me. I've done this too much to exist in this world. I need to go. Thematically.
Seems like something he would do, because that's very much his character.
Yeah.
Right. And resigning to death and accepting the fact that the world's no longer for him.
But what I like about Arthur, and I was trying to build up to this, but we just we went off on a tangent again, which is great. Don't get me wrong, guys. This is fantastic. I love this discussion. What I'm saying though is that one thing that I noticed kind of shows you his morality is that Arthur hates going out to beat up these people, regardless of what your morality is. He feels like it's amoral because Arthur can kill people, and I think he mentions this, in one part of the game. Like, I don't mind killing someone, but this I can't do, which is like beat up these like innocent, families that got a loan and couldn't pay it back. On one hand, it's like, okay, yeah, you borrowed something, you have to pay it back, but these people literally took what they believed was their only option and
you're forcing them into submission
with it. They it's like the student loan system,
It's terrible.
Yeah. Or the loan system in general. Like it's definitely a trap, for the impoverished. Mm-hmm. But we don't want to get like political, I guess, but I think that's very poignant that, for Arthur, that's crossing the line.
Bottom line is loans aren't good and you should blame it on the political party you disagree with.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
That sounds like real politics right there.
Okay.
America.
That's enough said.
Boy, everyone do it with me.
Boy. Careful. Careful, that could be racist in its own right.
That's Arthur's slogan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Boy.
Him and what is it, Kratos from God of War, right?
Boy.
Or like from Phantasm. Boy.
There you go.
I love his his accent. He's like he's like you're all right, boy, as he pets his horse.
Oh yeah. He's so Western.
You're all right, boy.
Or his infamous pronunciation of Saint Denis.
There you go.
It took me a while to get this habit down, but I always pat my horse before I leave.
Always, dude. I always pat my horse like frequently.
Always.
Same thing with Breath of the Wild. Like I'm constantly Dakota, you too, right?
My horse is a good boy, and he deserves all the pats.
I'll do a massacre and shoot everyone up, but God forbid if I forget to pat my horse.
Fable.
Yeah. Morality goes all the way to the red.
Fable's the same way. There's a bunch of games that have
your
companions.
dog.
Your dogs. Yeah, your dog in Fable. There's so many games that have companions that you feel connected to them because that's like it's your pet.
You can treat your dog like shit and scold them.
Yes, you can actually.
I love dogs so much.
By the way, speaking of animal treatment, this game isn't necessarily vegan friendly.
Oh my god!
Just the hunting aspect alone. I mean, the way you skin the animals. What do you think about that, Bo?
I think that it is,
and it shows it. It shows the skin coming off.
I think it's appropriate for the time period that the game is set in. I mean, they were settlers. There wasn't a whole lot of agriculture going on at the time. I mean, of course, they were going to live off of the land.
There we go. We have a level-headed vegan.
Yeah. I'm trying to play off our personalities here. You were supposed to play the irritated vegan.
Ew, no.
But
we just cannot. We cannot allow for killing of animals in any sense.
Right. But all right, so in defense of sort of like the vegan view and sort of in defense of the game, I believe if you talk to most vegans, they would be more accepting of the idea of eating meat when it's humans sort of participating in sort of the food chain naturally, as opposed to more factory farming and sort of deforestation and the displacement of people through more commercialized hunting, even. The way hunting is done now, where it's more for sport.
Well, see, for a lot of vegans and vegetarians I know, it's a lot different. It's more of a it's animal cruelty. It's that we don't need to survive off of animals. There are other things we can survive off of. That's how a lot of vegans and vegetarians.
Exactly. That's pretty much my stance on it. But even then, I can see how in a survival situation, you got to do what you got to do.
God damn it. We're not supposed to seriously talk about veganism, guys. We're supposed to make fun of it. That's the
right.
point.
Oh, my God.
Bo is our punching bag.
No,
Well, the thing is, I'm basically a carnivore, and like I love making fun of vegans, but right now I'm in PR mode where I'm trying to be reasonable about everything. So
You're just an NPC.
Oh, what?
You know what? Sometimes when I'm working at the grocery store, I really feel like all these meth addicts who come in are just walking up to me and pressing A.
That's so funny, dude. We work at a grocery store too, that with a bunch of fucking meth addicts we have to deal with.
Exactly.
You got it.
Oh, God damn it. Why?
What is it with this? I don't understand.
Why?
It's a universal experience, I guess.
I guess
Why,
so.
Lisa? Why? Why am I the NPC?
Why am I NPC?
There's actually a theory, like a conspiracy type theory, that like there's a certain amount of souls in the world, and like most people are just empty husks because there's not enough souls to go around.
Hey, Ash.
So where did you read that? Dianetics?
There you go. Yeah.
Who decides this ratio of souls and how?
There you go.
It's like some weird thing. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, you forgot to do our room ding. Ding.
There was
Ding.
just a
Room reference.
little bit too much acid.
A little too much.
I would imagine so.
You got to stay off those hallucinogens, bro.
Jesus.
So guys, final thoughts. Red Dead Redemption 2.
I will continue playing the game. Like I said, I haven't gotten far, but I will spend more time doing this because it's you want to get involved in this game. I definitely do. It's not, obviously this isn't, my favorite game of all time. Otherwise I would be playing it versus other ones, but this is definitely a really good feel. And I would recommend it to other people. It may not be 100% my cup of tea all the time, but I have nothing bad to say about it. It's fantastic.
Fuck yeah. What do you think, Andrew?
If you are one of those fellows who likes to pick up a game and then play hundreds to thousands of hours of the same game, and you have like a library of 100 games, but you mostly just play 5, pick up Red Dead Redemption. It's going to become one of those ones that you keep going to for a while. You may not play it forever, but it's going to keep you busy for at least a year.
Fuck yeah, well said.
So much content, man.
My final thoughts is it's a game. It's a game about cowboys, and your horse's balls actually shrink. So.
Hey, Bo, did we ask you for your final thoughts?
Yeah.
You're not even a member on this episode.
I'm producing this episode, so
You were
I
sitting
have
here-
final say.
Bo, do your job. Produce.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm producing. This is part of producing a podcast.
Oh, so the producer only eats produce. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Oh,
The
good
producer
one.
eats produce.
I hate that. He doesn't find shame in that. There's no shame in that. It's just straight up. Yep, you're right.
Why should I be ashamed of my veganism? Why even be ashamed of it?
Because you don't get pussy.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
what
much.
the fuck ever! I wasn't getting pussy even when I was eating meat.
Hey, you know what?
Like that's.
He is
Go ahead.
You
he
said
is
it.
what he eats.
Here's what he eats.
Oh, what? God damn it!
At least he's not gay. He doesn't eat meat.
Oh man.
And what if I was?
Well, then you're
Yeah,
you're not a vegan. You're eating meat. I mean plain and simple.
Oh my God, this is going off the rails.
We need to close this podcast now.
Yeah.
We have to before
Oh
we
man.
before we
Who
cancel.
cares? We're all canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all canceled. We need to hit up the guys at the country club. We'll get them canceled too.
Okay, Boomer.
What the fuck?
All right.
My final thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2. This game, I really think the most poignant thing I can talk about is try to like I said earlier, I hate to use the same word again, but embrace the detail and embrace the pacing, because this game is one that you can soak in. That's why it's so easy to get lost in the world, and that's why you can spend several hours and get almost nowhere, because there's so much to do. When I say nowhere, you're not progressing the story, but it's just so easy, and there's narrative everywhere you go, even in side missions. and even in just small interactions that you could miss out of the corner of your eye, when you're at your camp or elsewhere. Small, conversations, dialogues that it's incredible the level of detail that's applied to this game. And the realism. We forgot to mention, things like the hair growth system where, Arthur's hair and his beard naturally grow over time.
His hat falls off. You have to go pick it back up.
Pick it up.
You always want your mustache one layer thicker than your beard, though.
And you have to shave it down. If it gets too much, like you don't have to, but you can shave your beard.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm the opposite. My mustache has to be shorter than my beard. I hate the mustache.
He's a cowboy, though.
See, I'm okay with the connect. Like, it's fine.
But you can't grow a beard.
I'm sorry. You're right, but that's a personal preference. That's just me.
This motherfucker.
You know what? I worked.
Actually, I think you're right. I think
beard.
I got it backwards on accident. Because one's like looks thicker than the other, even though they're supposed to be like the same length.
You can cut them at different lengths. You can have mutton chops.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, but like, oh no, you want the mutton chops gone, man.
No, you got to grow those straight out, just mutton chops. There you go. That's like Pirates of the Caribbean.
You can do it.
Nah. My Arthur shoots people with just mutton chops. All
there
right?
you go. Dutch has mutton chops.
Well,
he's a soul patch.
Well,
true.
We know how that ends, right? Don't we?
We sure
Arthur should have shot him. Don't trust the mutton chops. All right. You know what? Real life advice.
There you go.
Straight
Real
up.
talk.
Real life advice.
Hashtag
Don't
real
trust
talk.
people with just mutton chops.
There you go.
Yeah.
But-
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right. This is directly applicable. Right? Generalizations are usually bad, but with mutton chops, it speaks to your character.
Yeah.
It's basically a Hitler mustache.
Right. It's who you are. Once you have mutton chops, that's
Major
who you are.
red flag.
But mutton chops and mullets as well.
Oh yeah, mullets.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Petastashes.
You know who did pull off mutton chops? Wolverine.
Oh, of course.
Hugh Jackman can pull off mutton chops. The only man I know.
Well, he can do anything. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's Hugh Jackman. Only
He
thing
can
he
sing.
Oh no, he can't sing. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
He's practically what's his name from Les Miserables? Homeboy Russell Crowe. He's basically Russell Crowe.
Oh my goodness. You're Russell Crowe, bro.
Disrespectful.
Oh, whatever.
Didn't he do Les Mis?
I think he
No,
wasn't.
it was
it was Russell Crowe and
Hugh
No,
Jackman.
Hugh
I thought
Jackman
no,
was
it
in
was not.
Russell
He,
Crowe.
no, it
Hugh
was Liam
Jackman, he was
Neeson.
in Les Mis, right?
He
Liam
wasn't
Neeson,
in
right?
Russell Crowe.
Liam Neeson
He
was
in Les Mis.
Yeah.
No. Hugh Jackman was in Les Mis. I know this because we had to watch it for
What is that?
my English comp.
Yeah, okay.
That's Uncharted.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, hold on one
We can
second.
delete it off.
1 second, Andrew.
I muted it. It's good.
Okay,
It's
we can
good. I
continue
muted it.
Right, continue recording from then on. Then.
What?
We just
Sorry, we had
had
an issue. You couldn't hear
we
it.
just had music just come in and lighten our mood. It was amazing.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
Where were we at? Oh, we're closing right
We're,
now.
we're
chops.
finishing up.
Mutton chops.
Mutton
and closing.
chops. Yeah,
Mutton
Ash, when are you gonna
okay.
get mutton chops? Mutton chops and a man bun.
I'm not doing that.
All right. You know what? I tried to be professional today. All right. I tried. I mean, I didn't succeed for more than a 2-minute stretch, but I tried. And you go off and do this with the mutton chops. I feel disrespected.
It's an attack at the heart, you know.
Oh, come on.
Right.
Were we ever professional to begin with? I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Damn it.
off the
tried.
fucking rails, guys. Off the fucking rails. But
Well, we want to.
that's the point.
Well,
because
this train
this
is
is
Leviticus
about
Cornwalls, and we want those bonds, man.
couldn't have done it better.
To get it off the rails.
There you
That
go.
segue. It made
Yeah.
me come.
Oh, what?
You guys and your segues. We need to
Jesus.
close this podcast.
Yeah, let's
now.
do it now.
Okay. So, Collateral Gaming. What's coming up next?
Ooh, we do have an indie game coming before we do our next numbered episode, and that'll be Town of Salem.
That's our Thanksgiving special.
Yes, it'll be our Thanksgiving
a
special.
little gift.
Fun little thing to talk
you.
about. Little mini episode. It started out as a game on a website on a computer.
Even though fuck
Now it's mobile.
Thanksgiving, because
Fuck Thanksgiving. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's great.
Thanksgiving's not vegan enough.
Not for Bo.
Yeah.
Well, just because we ended up actually turning back and like murdering all those natives, right?
Yeah, I mean that was terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, screw
it's
the
like it's kind of like
origin.
celebrating Columbus Day, like it's
Kinda
just kind of
sorry.
like it really isn't bad taste.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about
I
the
know.
origin. We're going to talk about the good times.
And
The
being
good-
thankful.
There you go. And the good times are Town of Salem. We'll be doing Town of Salem.
Yeah.
And then after that, we will be doing...
That segue.
That's like, and then we'll be doing Death Stranding. Death Stranding is going to be a fun game we're going to be doing. I'm really excited about that, so you'll have a lot to talk about.
I'm really excited about playing more of it too.
Yes, next numbered episode. So be ready for that. That's coming out next month. We're excited. My birthday will be here. I'll be almost 20.
That's our Christmas present.
It's going to be lit.
It's Death Stranding. Well, actually, our Christmas present to you is something else. It's a surprise for our Christmas episode.
I
But
cannot tell nobody.
but yeah. So we're actually gonna have 2 episodes in December. We're actually doing pretty well now, guys. We're actually kind of going bi-weekly, which was my intention. Monthly numbered episodes. But on the bye weeks, we can do like indie movie reviews or bonus episodes or make that the release of commentaries. So that's the plan. But yeah, coming forward, super stoked about Collateral Gaming Season 2. It's really been a blast pulling this together, and we're so excited to show more of it to you. This is only our second episode, out of our numbered episodes. And well, Andrew, you listened to our Uncharted review, right? Or episode, I should say.
Yes, I did that in preparation to sort of get a feel for the style. I regret that I wasn't able to watch more, but I was a bit strained for time, and I barely got as far as I did into the games.
Hey man, I don't even have enough time to keep up with my favorite podcasts anymore a lot of times, but I just have them on cue when I go to work. You know what I mean?
It's hard enough to play the games, man.
It's hard enough. There's playing the games is really, really hard to find time to do as an adult. But we do it for y'all. We do it because we love it. We're having fun doing it. Yeah.
Can I get a plug?
That's actually literally what I was about to say, but I was kind of like planning in my head I was going to say it. But yeah, Andrew, man, do you want to talk about Brash Binary?
Okay, so what we're going to be doing soon is when this goes up, we are going to be launching our first game from there. You're going to be able to go to our website, brashbinary.com, and they'll bring you there. Or alternatively, you can go to brashbinary.itch.io, and you can download our game there. It is going to be, for the first week, it's going to be half off on sale. So I would suggest that if you want to pick it up at any point, that you would pick it up then, and then a week later it'll go to full price. It's going to be available for $1 for the first week, and then it'll be $2 afterwards. It's a nice arena shooter. It's DM Apocalypse. Premise is simple. You're a woman. You get doxxed, and all those creepy guys from the internet, they're coming after you. So you got to pick up that shotgun and you got to blow their brains out.
Yes, sir. He was telling me about this earlier.
That's amazing.
They get doxxed, bro, and that's so great.
It's like wow, it's like Gamergate Simulator.
That's what's so great about this.
Fuck.
All right. And if you are someone who's trying to create in the gaming space or even something like video essays, you can also go to brashbinary.com and fill out a form to try to join the Brash Binary Network and see what opportunities we can provide for you.
Fuck yeah.
There we go.
That's awesome. Kind of off on that, I do want to mention a couple things, with Collateral Gaming, I guess, because you mentioned, money, and you mentioned, what was the other thing?
Sponsoring games.
Sponsoring
gamers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
And so with Collateral Gaming, we also have our Patreon, which honestly you shouldn't subscribe to yet or donate to yet because we don't actually have anything to give you, but we will soon. I'm working on it. I'm just finding time to do it. I am actively working on Patreon content, and that's going to be our commentaries. So go check those out. This is where we go in on some of the games that we do in the season and maybe some other games, and we just it's a let's play commentary. So we just sit there, play the game, talk about it while we're doing it. We're releasing it episodically on YouTube, but it's locked so that you can only access it with the Patreon. Now, our first commentary is free. That's Fable 3. But after that, starting with our next one, which I'm working on right now, is Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
That's going to be our first paid. And then the first episode, I think, of each Patreon commentary, it's going to be free.
Zelda CDI, aren't we going to do that one off that eventually too?
Zelda CDI is coming up. Also,
Yeah, that's one that I'm on, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you did a little bit of that with us.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Uncharted is going to be. We're going to do Uncharted, actually, A Thief's End.
I promise you, we're eventually going to do Death Stranding too.
It's honestly, it may come up. We'll see.
Later down the road.
Last of Us is something we may do later to
Yes,
coincide
I
with the
forgot about
release of
that.
Last of Us 2.
Agreed.
But anyway, that's a lot to look forward to, guys. That's what's on the books. So I haven't forgot about it. I know a lot of times I'll make promises and not deliver. I've been doing that bad lately, where fucking like, okay, this is our next episode, and then we don't do it. But we're on top of it this season. Everything that we have mentioned would be an episode is going to be at some point. Just stay tuned for it. And then as far as sponsoring goes, if you're an indie game maker, this is the other point I wanted to make off of what Andrew was saying. If you're an indie game maker and you want us to review your game, come find us. Come talk to us. Hit us up on Twitter, because we're looking for. That's exactly what we're looking to do. Right now, we're kind of doing more of the high budget indie games, the well aware in indie games that kind of are sprouting up companies. We'd like to do some more like local stuff, like with what we're doing on Collateral Cinema with our indie movies. One thing, Andrew, maybe once you complete what you're working on, we can shoot you a review on an indie game that you're making.
Yeah. If I once I release a project that I feel like would be a good fit for it, I would definitely want to release something a bit more narrative based.
Okay.
Right.
So for that, there'd be a bit more meat to actually review on something like this.
All right, you better hurry it up then. Make that game.
Upcoming collab, guys.
There you go.
Sometime.
As far as upcoming collabs, you could always just put me on the Sonic episode.
There you go.
There we are.
Fuck
right?
yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Maybe not so subtly jam my foot in the door.
My God, that's good.
Yeah, no, dude, it's been a blast having you on this episode, man. You definitely fit in with the crowd, and I'm really glad that we're coming up and we're getting more guest spots on the show. Now, I do want to go ahead and give another plug out to our other podcast, Collateral Cinema. I'll let Bo handle that one.
That's right. Coming up on Collateral Cinema, we have part 2 of our First Glance Film Festival mega review. We're going to be reviewing features such as I Used to Be Normal, the boy band documentary, and also Right Before Your Eyes, which seems to be an interesting movie, and Black Betty, which is like a web series.
Yeah, I started watching some of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to finish watching all of them.
Yeah, and we just did the on Collateral Cinema movie podcast. If you're not following the movie podcast, follow the movie podcast. But you probably are, because Collateral Cinema's been in the game a little longer. Y'all have got a lot of downloads ahead of Collateral Gaming. I say y'all, but it's us. It's the same. It's us. We're the same.
Our next numbered episode is going to be the Christian. I don't know if it's a propaganda movie or not, but it's the Buttercream Gang, which is quite possibly one of the whitest things that's ever been created. So
the best, purest thing that has ever been created.
Yes.
It is everything that is wonderful about white culture.
It is pure and holy and
when
good.
people say that white people have no culture, show them this movie, because it shows the wonderness of mayo, mayonnaise,
buttercreaming hard.
Of carrots, of Jesus.
Buttercreaming for life. Buttercream hard for God, for Trump, and for country.
For MAGA.
Buttercream for MAGA.
No buttercream for MAGA. Not even here.
Is it whiter than a group of white people not being able to go to Panera because half of them have gluten allergies that they don't actually have?
No, whiter than that.
Whiter
like
than
like rural white. That kind of white. Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah!
Be ready.
Like our hometown. You see, you grew up in the city, man.
Yeah.
You don't understand country life. You don't understand backwoods, meth head,
crazy motherfuckers.
I barely understand it because we didn't live there very long.
Yeah, no, I've lived there all my life.
You lived there all your life.
I understand it way too well,
Folks,
all too well.
You'll notice we're streaming out of not streaming. Sorry, we're not streaming.
I wish we were streaming.
That would be cool, live streaming. We should do Twitch at some point. Just an aside. Anyway, we're podcasting straight out of San Antonio, as we've started mentioning this season, which is, a step up from, fucking backwoods meth hills. just throwing it out there. But anyway, guys, Collateral Gaming Season 2, new studio, new producer.
Yeah, we got rid of
firing Bo. Yeah, we got rid of Bo.
Oh, well, I didn't know about that, so okay.
That's
No,
why
it's
you're not
okay.
actually named on this episode.
We appreciate everything that you do, Bo.
I thought we were going to bash him some more.
It was a blast having you on, Andrew. What'd you think?
It was fun. I'm tired though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just a little bit. But I was happy to be on. I was happy to talk about a good game, and hopefully you'll be hearing more from me, and I won't crash and burn and end up in a ditch somewhere. All right.
Great. Yeah, maybe next time we'll actually spend more time talking about the game.
No, we did good, guys.
All
right.
But yeah,
Keep your meth in moderation.
There you go.
All right.
Of course.
All right.
Great life tips.
And that being said, I'm Ash the Chancellor,
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
I'm Andrew Kenny.
and that's Bo Maddox.
I'm Bo Maddox, yeah.
No one cares
Okay.
about you.
No one
Bye,
cares about
Bo.
you.
Stop ruining our show.
We are Collateral Gaming, and we are out.
Out. Do that. Okay.
Welcome to Collateral Gaming Extras, the part of the podcast where we buttercream.
We buttercream hard. We buttercream for God, MAGA, Trump, and everything else that stands for white culture.
For white culture. Whoever said that white people have no culture?
Yeah, whoever said that has never seen the Buttercream Gang.
You know what? We think mayonnaise is spicy, and we high five twice just to make sure we get it done on the second time.
And nobody here can dance. Not a one of us.
Not a single one of us.
No.
So this particular extra segment, everybody else ditched on us, so it's just me and Bo.
Yeah, it feels very lonely in this studio without the other two.
It's okay. I did the last extra segment by myself on my phone.
Oh, that was fun.
So I had just like this really shitty audio at the end of the podcast for like the last 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
It's like really jarring if you listen to it.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do people even wait after the credits to listen to this?
Oh, who knows, man? Who fucking cares? Just do it anyway.
So I see you're wearing your Rick and Morty shirt, Bo.
Oh, goddamn right, man. Old school Rick and Morty right here. This is from the first season.
Yeah, season 4 just came out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed the season premiere of it, but I'm going to try to pick up the next episode this Sunday.
And I think Adult Swim is still airing it on their website.
Oh, they are? Well, shit, I'm going to have to watch it then.
But motherfucker, you can stream shit.
I know, man. But I mean, it's just the ritual of actually sitting down and watching it on this original broadcast.
Oh, I didn't. I binged it on Hulu, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of old school like that because that's how I used to consume Adult Swim. Like my brother and I, we would just roll up a bunch of blunts, sit down in front of the TV, and just watch the entire block of Adult Swim from beginning to end.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just getting high and drinking the entire time. And man, like we watched a lot of stuff when it originally came out, you know, like Saul the Mole Men, Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. We watched the first episode of Rick and Morty as well. Like, I mean, that was fun. Like, and I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
No.
No, check out Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Garth Marenghi. Okay.
Oh man, that's some good British humor right there. That and Look Around You.
I'll tell you what. If you know what it is, like this podcast. If you don't know what it is, like this podcast.
Definitely like this podcast.
Like this podcast, or whatever your platform does.
And leave ratings and reviews for both Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema.
There you go. Subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Tell your children about it.
Are we winding down already?
We're not winding down. We're not winding down. I'm just talking out the ass right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit. We're already giving the social medias and the Patreons and everything.
We already did that.
Yeah,
we already did that on the episode. Of course, that was a couple days ago for us.
Yeah. I mean, this is an extra segment that we're recording. Just kind of off the cuff, I guess.
Yeah. What did you think about Andrew? He was a pretty good addition.
He was, yeah. I liked him, and it would be cool to Skype him in on maybe even a Collateral Cinema episode.
Fuck yeah,
Andrew, that'd be cool.
Man, I hope you're listening to this because you're on this episode. I always listen to my episodes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. We'll stay in touch. So yeah, if y'all like Andrew, let us know. If you don't,
Just screw yourself.
Yeah, just go screw yourself. 'Cause he was an awesome part of the team. Bo, what did you think about Death Stranding, the game that Dakota's been playing?
It's very interesting. I mean, I'm more of a gaming spectator nowadays than somebody who actively plays. Like, unless you hand me like a Nintendo Switch or something like that, then I'm just like, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah,
fuck it.
Bo was playing my new Nintendo Switch the other day, so I got a brand new Switch.
Switch Lite.
The Nintendo Switch Lite, yeah. I originally had a Nintendo Switch and it got stolen. So now my wife bought me one for my birthday, which was just this month in November 10th. I didn't even address that. I had a birthday in between this episode and the last.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, bro. I'm 24.
Wow.
I know, 24, and I own a house.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people that can say that at your age.
I own a house that's paid off.
I can't even say that, and I'm almost 40. Damn it.
Okay, boomer.
I'm not a boomer, for fuck's sake. I was born in 1982.
Okay,
fuck.
Boomer. But yeah, you were checking out. You were playing the Switch Lite. I had Link's Awakening on it.
Yeah, but I was playing Hyrule Warriors because even though it's essentially the same game over and over again, I do love me some Dynasty Warriors. I mean, it's just fun to kind of strategize, to run around and beat up all the enemies, and then try to save your keeps and everything, and try to set up strategic positions on the battlefield.
Oh yeah, I played the shit out of Hyrule Warriors. I own all three versions actually. I own the original Wii U version. I own the Nintendo 3DS port that added some things in, and then I have the definitive edition on Switch that you were playing.
That was a lot of fun, man. Like and playing as Link, and even Zelda was she was one of the characters, and some other side characters that they introduced. I mean, I don't know if it's from previous games because I'm just not that up to snuff on Zelda.
Well, in the first level, I think you play as Link, Zelda, and Impa.
Yeah.
Impa is actually a character that's been around since the first game.
Really?
But she didn't become like in the first game, she was like an old woman. In Ocarina of Time, they introduced her as Zelda's like personal guard from the Sheikah, which is a fucking cool tribe. Everyone's always thought the Sheikah were cool as fuck ever since Ocarina.
Yeah. They have a Sheikah warrior.
Yeah.
Another one in this game as well.
Yeah, so that's Impa Impa's a playable character, and she has a giant blade. You can later unlock a weapon for her that's a fire type, Naginata.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
There's also Sheik. Sheik shows up later.
And she plays like a lyre or a lute or something, right? That's her weapon?
Yeah.
Music is the weapon. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, or I guess a harp.
I think
is what it is. Yeah, which is the goddess's harp from Skyward Sword, which was passed down, the same one that Sheik uses in Ocarina.
Oh, wow.
And then you can upgrade it. So every character has a weapon, and then some characters unlock like new weapons.
And a lot of these weapons are kind of built into the lore of Zelda. And
Yeah. So
oh, wow.
Link starts out with like the Hylian sword, which is your basic sword, but then he also gets like a fire rod.
Oh, wow.
And a bunch of other weapons. You can use Epona, the horse, as a weapon.
Oh, that's cool.
Later, you get the Master Sword that has the same. The Master Sword has the same moveset as the Hylian sword, but it's more powerful.
Now, you know what would be amazing is if they made a Dynasty Warriors game, but they used the characters from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, there you go.
Like it would be that one real-time strategy game that they had right in the middle of fucking Final Fantasy VII. It was one of the random mini games they had. like just base it off of that or something.
I'm still waiting for Super Mario Warriors.
Oh, that'd be cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
That would be badass, dude. I think they mentioned that actually. After Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, wow.
Which in Japan is called Zelda Musou.
Zelda Musou.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Because, the Musou series is what it's referred to in Japan.
Oh, I see. That's the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, Dynasty
It's
Warriors.
a Musou series. I gotcha.
I think it's like San something Musou. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I see.
Dynasty Warriors.
I mean, I remember when Dynasty Warriors was originally just a straight up one-on-one fighting game.
Yeah, I think the original one was.
Yeah, that's all the way back on the PlayStation. That was the first Dynasty Warriors, and supposedly they were all based off of historical figures in Chinese history.
Yeah, Son Goku Musou.
Son Goku Musou.
Son Goku Musou, which is 3 Kingdoms Unrivaled. But then later it kind of got rebranded with Shin Son Goku Musou.
Yeah, I mean,
which is Dynasty Warriors 2.
I mean, isn't it also derived from a specific series of board games or something like that? The 3 Kingdoms or some type of strategy game from back in the day?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I have Wikipedia open, and it's.
I mean, I recall that about Dynasty Warriors.
Okay, yeah. We are gonna do Hyrule Warriors at some point.
That'll be fun. I want to be on that episode.
Fuck yeah. Well, we kind of have a thing going where, at first it was gonna be one Zelda game and one like Zelda like type spin-off type game a season. Now because we split up our seasons and we've gone monthly. We'll just do every other season. Okay. It's going to be a full-on main series Zelda game, and the other ones are going to be spinoffs. So after we get through all of the, because we've still got one more fucking Zelda CDI game to do.
Oh, no.
After that, we'll probably do Hyrule Warriors as our spinoff, and then after that, I may start just doing the portable titles.
Yeah, there's quite a few portable Zelda titles, right?
Yeah, which are considered main series and not spin-offs.
They're canon.
They're canon, but then they're part of the official Zelda timeline. But I still kind of have like a different subcategory within the main series where you have, like the actual console games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right on.
Like, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, the original Zelda, Zelda 2.
You should do Ben Drowned.
Ben Drowned.
Straight up.
We are. Majora's Mask is our next Zelda game.
And then maybe get Jaducible on the podcast.
Fuck yeah, he does a podcast. Actually,
he does a podcast.
He does, and
badass.
We should probably shout that one out because that's kind of related to gaming.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Jaducible. I mean, he's the creator of that entire creepypasta.
Yeah.
And
yeah. No, I was really into that. I mean, I was into it kind of after it was already over. But supposedly it is eventually going to come back. I don't know if Alex Hall ever will return to it, Jaducible, but he is doing a new podcast, The Digital Fireside. And I listened to part of the episode, and then I got busy, but I'm going to listen to some more. I don't even have time to listen to a podcast anymore, bro. Like, between like working on the podcast, and then like working, going to school.
Yeah.
I mean, what I have left usually is, when I'm on my way to work, I listen to podcasts, but it's only a 20-minute drive. So
yeah, I've been listening to podcasts mostly in the car lately through Bluetooth. I mean, it's actually rather soothing. I mean, I barely even listen to music anymore when I'm driving.
Same. If I have time to listen to something, I'll just listen to podcasts. But a lot of the time that I'm off work is when I'm with my wife and stuff. So,
yeah.
I spend time with her and with the baby. But yeah, I'll probably find some time to listen to some more podcasts.
Honestly, putting on a podcast when you're like cleaning up your house is always fun.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the free time I have, I do try to, I just try to actually play the games and watch the movies that we're gonna do for the podcast. Watching movies isn't so hard. You just set aside a day to watch the movie.
Well, yeah, of course. You got to have your movie night and everything.
Yeah, movie night's not that hard to do, and I can get the wife to watch with me. But
yeah,
playing the games is what's really eating up most of my time right now, as far as the podcast goes. Because even getting together once a week and doing a podcast isn't that hard. I just set aside a night to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Editing it, I can get it done in one sitting if I try, or I can spread it out a little bit. But fucking playing the games is what eats up most of my time.
I'd imagine so. I mean, especially like multiple hour games.
Especially new games, dude.
Modern games, yeah.
Modern games are so fucking big.
Aren't they usually at least sometimes 50 hours worth of gameplay at the least?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much a standard with open world games especially. Yeah. In our last episode, Uncharted, we did 3 games in one.
Oh, shit.
And we got almost all the way through. I decided to go ahead and do the whole trilogy because I really wanted to talk about Uncharted as a whole. And the first 3 games, all the games really aren't that different. I mean, it's mostly the same. So we could talk about them in the same breath. To avoid doing another episode on Uncharted 4, because we pretty much really said really what we need to do about the series, I think we're just going to do like a commentary on Uncharted 4.
There you go. That's a good way to kind of get that out there, and
we kind of encompass everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
And then that kind of makes us do something a little bit different with the commentary than what we're doing with the episodes.
Yeah. I can see how that would work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got to look forward to with Collateral Cinema, Bo?
Oh, of course, we got the Buttercream Gang coming up. That's going to be all kinds of fun. I mean, we are going to praise the Hellman's Mayonnaise, the Wonder Bread, and the Oscar Mayer Bologna, the holy trinity of wasp culture. Right there.
Wasp culture, I love it.
That's pretty much what fuels white people all over the world.
You guys are going to enjoy this.
Oh, it's going to be hilarious.
I wonder if this will be one of our big episodes.
I don't know if it's going to be a big episode because I don't know how many people really know about the Buttercream Gang, like other than maybe from watching Cinema Snob or catching it on YouTube. I mean, I don't think that it has the same meme quality as, say, Jesus, man, or, if I come to Jesus, I come all the way,
I was posting that on, on that group. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Those are priceless, and those are movies we're going to have to do because they're kind of funny in their own right.
I also did Rapping for Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I posted that on that same Facebook group, which shall not be named here.
Yeah, no, we're not going to name that.
We're not going to go out there.
We can name it on the country club, but not here.
Fuck that group. Yeah, with their fucking Trumpism and shit. I don't know. I don't like to get too political, but I mean these guys, I mean, they literally worship the ground he walks on.
Little snowflakes.
Dude, they are, dude. They get so offended if you like even criticize Trump. It's really bad. They call us snowflakes, and I'm like, dude, like I'm not the one that gets offended on behalf of a politician. I'm sorry. Like, that's stupid. Oh, but he's not a politician. Yeah, he is now.
Definitely. By this point, he's uber politician.
Well, exactly.
He's like the consummate politician now.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. But what are you gonna do? Because we just live in a world, and your vote doesn't really matter,
dude. We live in a society. Bottom text.
Gamers rise up.
Yeah, the gamers need to rise up. That's the only answer.
Hashtag gamers rise up.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna run that meme into the ground.
like the Epstein meme that never killed itself, just like Epstein.
Yeah, no, that meme will not kill itself at all.
No, in all honesty, I mean, he probably did kill himself. I mean, people.
I can see that, honestly.
I mean, if you think about it, okay, all right, people kill themselves in prison all the time, and he was a piece of shit. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really think I'm gonna get hated for this. People are gonna be like, oh, because all across everybody's into the conspiracy theory, and that's new. You don't see that, but
yeah,
I mean, obviously there's something a little fishy, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that he was killed by the Clintons or anything. But I don't know. Who's to say?
But anyway, hey, video games, ladies and gentlemen.
Video games.
So hey, Ash, when are we going to do the special Collateral Gaming episode on arcade light gun games?
Eventually, I don't know.
Because that will be fun because we just need to go out to an arcade and just play them all. Like,
we really
seriously.
do. That would be a fun episode.
I mean, yeah, we can maim that shit, but no, you got to have the actual feel of the light gun in your hand, play these games.
I mean, I already kind of threw in a bonus episode on Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
This season because I want to talk about it. But I'm doing it as a bonus episode. And we are going to do... Well, maybe we'll save that for later. I don't want to spoil that yet. I have a collaboration planned with Collateral and Cinema and Collateral Gaming.
Oh, nice. Another one.
Where we're going to do... I kind of got it set up. We're going to do basically it's like a 2-part collaboration special because we're going to do a movie and a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to do a certain series that is both movie and game.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
Let the I'll tell you after we stop recording.
Okay, yeah. Let's leave it as a surprise.
Yeah, but let your imaginations run wild with that one. And I plan for some kind of collaboration. There was something the other day I said I'd turn into a collaboration because I had already decided it as an episode.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what it was, but I don't know.
We'll think of it somehow.
We'll think of it. Anyway, I think that's all the time we have today for our extras segment. We've been going on for over 15 minutes now.
Oh, thank goodness. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the
Jesus,
fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of this town.
What are you talking about? You live in fucking Meth Hills.
Oh, whatever.
San Antonio
at least the meth heads keep to themselves for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that's true. You don't have like HOAs and shit. I have an HOA.
Oh God.
But I mean, it's the good part of San Antonio. So at least
Don't you mean the white part of San Antonio, Ash?
I didn't want to go there, Bo. But yes, I live in the white side of San Antonio.
Wow. We need to take a trip to the east side.
I live in the northwest, so whatever. But yeah, guys, that's it.
That's it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it all.
And Epstein didn't kill himself.
Collateral Gaming is an L Company production. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators, are used for educational purposes only, and are fair use. Please don't sue us. We're poor.
Boy.